Welcome. Do you remember those two barrels hanging out inconspicuously by the wall coming into Kleiner's lab early on in Red Letter Day?
No.
Well, anyway, you would think they were just useless props, but we can have tons of kicks dropping these barrels in Alex's way. Now, let's see if plopping these barrels down right here over here will barricade Alex out of coming into the lab. Well, it worked like a charm. Soon enough, though, she kind of worked it out by literally teleporting right through it. Now, I did the exact same thing to Kleiner, stacking, the same barrels in whatever boxes he had laying around the lab, and, well, this happened. Remember that time you get accidentally teleported into Breen's private office at the top of the Citadel? Well, it turns out the guy will drop like a fly if you so much as put one bullet in him. And yes, I know, it takes cheat commands to get a weapon at this point, but the point is, isn't Breen supposed to be an essential NPC with no damage inflicted by friendly fire? Like, he isn't technically hostile or a combine soldier or anything. Speaking of killing friendlies, by the way, Lamar, Kleiner's pet head humper, is a real headcrab, and thus it's possible to whack her just as easily as Breen. Again, you'll need console commands to get a weapon this early on, but I always figured Lamar was a phony headcrab, a prop or a friendly NPC kind of thing, invincible to friendly fire. By the way, the other Lamar, the one you see in the middle of a wasteland during the botched teleport sequence, will take no damage. So go figure.
You should wear it.
And no, sadly, you can't kill that dinosaur thing in the water using the same approach. I tried and failed. However, yes, you can kill that pesky scanner you run into early on by baiting the damn thing into that oncoming train's way to be knocked out into sparks. Also, hitting the train with a crowbar reveals it's made of plastic. The same sound is made every time you smack a plastic object anywhere in the game. Speaking of playing Tetris with boxes and shit, I see no reason why we couldn't try stacking some stuff to get up to Barney when he catches up to us outside the lab to, toss down the crowbar. It's gonna be more challenging though, since all they give us is a couple of pallets, whereas those two boxes are way too heavy to be picked up or even pushed. Apparently, there is an invisible barrier in place. Good thing we know a certain trick with pallet that lets you boost yourself up. The trick is flip the pallet around this way and prop it against the wall. Now try jumping right up against it repeatedly. If you hit the sweet spot, you will soon end up on top of the damn thing. From here, we can shimmy across this fence. Just watch your step. This thing will literally try to knock you down. Damn it. Okay, so there's no way I could make this work. Fine. Well, last I checked, there were more barrels and crates in the previous area. Too bad by now that door has been locked tighter than the Vegas Pusky, so I made sure to bring all the boxes and barrels before the door shuts behind my back, and now it's time to impress Barney. There you go, cunt. Damn it, another invisible wall? Well, at least we got to see Barney pull my crowbar out of his ass, because where else did it come from? There was no crowbar on the ground. I love Kleiner's lab because, well, it debunks one of the biggest urban myths in this series. Remember that guy early on in the train station telling me to not have a drink from those Dr. Breen's private vending machines?
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget. I don't even remember how I got here.
Well, it appears Kleiner has no problem sipping on that shit, and somehow he's still managed to keep all his brains together. Or perhaps he's just been running experiments on all that water to see if it's actually being drugged. Sure, this one is old as your grandma, but still, this mini teleport right next to the entrance into the lab can be messed up so bad it'll blow up in your face. The trick is to pile up enough things to be teleported. If you can pick it up, in it goes. Keep piling on until the teleport begins spewing sparks and eventually blows up. Now, go ahead and feel free to teleport yourself.
Modified your suit to draw power from combined energy outputs.
Let's talk about teleporting things. Remember that tiny little dinky cacti plant in Kleiner's lab? Sure, the damn thing is pretty fun to be teleported via that mini teleport, but what if we gave it a whole other level of teleportation? Like maybe bringing it along to be teleported with Gordon. Barbie, watch your goddamn step. You're trekking your shit-stained boots across my plan. Okay, here goes. Wait, where did it go? Okay, well, let's try again. Nope, it just disappears. Well, go figure. I don't know about you fellas, but I always figured I could just ignore picking up the crowbar and, hit the road on my own. I swear, that goddamn thing must be cursed. Every time I grab it, a shitstorm follows in its way. So let's stack some boxes and barrels and try to vault over this boarded up doorway. Well, fuck you too, invisible barrier. Now, if you insist on cheat commands, we could, in theory, clip right through it and move on, but lo and behold, soon enough, you will end up cornered and planked to death by pesky Metro Cups. So there you go. Did you know there were not one but two Kleiner's labs in this chapter? Well, I swear the guy should get out more often and quit drinking that Green's water. Anyway, the first lab is the one we actually visit with Alex, and the second is just the teleportation chamber that exists as a standalone location. And it's where that scene is set where Kleiner urges you to make a run for it, from inside the window after the failed attempt to teleport you to Black Mesa East.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
You must get out of here!
The second lab is noticeably less detailed, and oddly enough, it is the one that's actually located inside the compound we exit from. Meanwhile, the real lab is nowhere near it, occupying a separate cell off to the distance. Make sure to take your time and poke around the lab. Many smaller props and items can be found, many of which are quite unique. First of all, there is this hula doll that will swing her hips when interacted with. Check the CCTV screens to see the G-Man making a cameo on one of them. Swing by this photo of Freeman, Kleiner, Eli Vance, and even Breen with his face completely whited out, dating back to the Black Mesa days. By the way, messing with this picture will uncover the retinal scanner to get into the teleport chamber, and yes, it's access denied for Freeman. There are two computers named Carmel, and Mesa, a hand-drawn sketch of Lamar's vagina right next to a family photo of Eli and his late wife, Ozian. Some blueprints of the teleport, and even sticky notes reminding Kleiner to get watermelons for Lamar, an obvious answer to that bloody red splat in her cage. Two metal cases of radioactive material underneath the desk with magnifying glass are both Easter eggs, referencing an iconic movie called Back to the Future. There is also a computer screen where the Starfield simulation screensaver can be seen running, an obvious reference to the older versions of Windows. There is also this propane tank gathering dust up here that's arguably the only time you will see this kind of item anywhere in the game, because I have yet to see it again outside this lab. Oddly enough, it's not flammable. Have you ever paid attention to Alex while Barney heads into that chamber right next over to unlock the HEV suit? Well, you should, because she will act a bit strange. First staring at thin air with those dead eyes, then covering her face and looking away while Barney and Kleiner tussle it out about Lamar. By the way, that time Alex presses the buttons on the vending machine to gain access to the lab is an obvious nod towards the shave and haircut tune, with the knocking on the side of the machine being the 2 bits. This one might be well known, but dragging your feet while everybody waits for you to slip into the HEV suit will result in all 3 characters saying unique and somewhat cranky pieces.
Time to suit up, Gordon. Come on, Gordon. We don't have time to fool around. Get your suit on.
Let's get a move on. If Dr. Kleiner says you should wear that thing, you should wear it.
Gordon, if you please, I'm eager to see if your old suit still fits.
With the most iconic one being...
Don't worry, I won't look.
Speaking of that, messed up teleportation, tell me you did try not clipping out of this whole mess while everything around you goes haywire. If you didn't, well, then you should know that the whole sequence will play out as usual. You'll get tossed from one location to another until finally you will get stuck in what looks like Black Mesa East. Everyone will ignore you as if you weren't there, and the game will freak out, causing you to stay there forever. And yes, you guessed it, whacking Breen during the same teleportation sequence will also cause the game to freak out and, knock it off entirely, so you'll get stuck again. A one-of-a-kind unique citizen model exists in the game that's only been found in this unused location near Kleiner's lab. It looks like part of City 17. There's a Metro Cup, and that's not strange at all. Something I couldn't say about this fella. Who's he, and why do we never get to see this citizen model anywhere in the game? Speaking of strange things, you can find that part of the coast where you drop into the water and, about to get gobbled up by that dinosaur thing. It's oddly satisfying to, swim around in this water, but this time around, though, the dinosaur thing isn't going to be there to give you a scare.